Hello, folks. Welcome to this YouTube channel. You're listening to an episode of Faultline. My name's Dan, and Arabella is my co-host. Arabella, what would you like to talk about for this episode of Faultline?
Well, I think the only thing to talk about at this point is Donald Trump. What the hell? Seriously, what the hell? I became a Republican 3 years ago, and what a nightmare. I mean, seriously, what a nightmare has been going on in the Republican Party. But I think what Donald Trump has done, quite honestly, has exposed the entire political system to ridicule, which I think he should have, and has done. And I'm glad he did it, because here and there I've been getting messages on my Facebook of, oh my God, I can't believe, like, you posted something that Donald Trump said, and, like, what are you doing? Like, you're just changing the entire political system. Really? Are you kidding me? Whether you're for or against Donald Trump, he has legitimately exposed what is what in America. And it's not pretty. What do you think, Dan?
The About the situation in America, it's definitely not all sunny weather. Uh, it's kind of messed up.
No, but what I'm getting at is every time he says something controversial, it seems like the rest of the media picks it up and they start talking about it.
Oh yeah, it's kind of like reverse psychology. The more they talk about it, the more people think it's cool, or something like
Absolutely.
that.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, there are a lot of things that Donald Trump says that, like, I was like, wait, what? What the hell is he talking about? There's a cringe factor, right? There's a cringe factor to what he says. When he says something, you're just like, couldn't you say that better? But here's the point. What is he saying? What is he saying that you then put it through your editor and go, couldn't you say that better? Like,
Yeah.
couldn't you get that same idea out there better? And then think about the absolute hypocrisy of that for people who always said, I want someone who's not a politician. I don't want to hear someone say something sugar-coated. Like, I want to hear it just as it is. So what do you think about that, Dan?
Well, I have a good opinion of straight talk. The whole movement for PC correctness is kind of stupid. It's like you're talking about the same idea, and I believe in Occam's razor. That the simplest way is the best. And rather than using four words to distinguish something that's politically correct, uses be succinct with your speech. And I really don't agree with political correctness. But at the same time, I think the common man who's not in a political arena does not agree with political correctness. If you're your average Joe, you don't give a damn what's said. It's the politicians in high up power, they use all this double speak and politically correct terms, uh, and I it's kind of annoying. Like, every
It's super annoying. It's super annoying to hear people here. Ever since I was young, this is what I hear in politics. Blah, 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 blah. Right?
yeah.
Now, I'm the first person to actually be a little bit discerning and kind of hesitant to jump on the Trump bandwagon. Just because he doesn't talk like that. It's a little bit scary. I have to be honest. It's scary to hear someone just say what they think. But
Yeah.
isn't that what we always wanted to hear from politicians?
Hear the truth. Call it like they see it without double speak and PC innuendo.
And I'm not saying it is the truth. I'm not saying that Donald Trump is speaking the truth. I don't think he's speaking the truth.
Right.
But what I think he has done is he has put a wedge into society where something was going on prior to him on the scene. And let's talk about that. Let's think about this.
Hey, can I interject something?
Yeah, go
Check
ahead.
this out. In 2000, the year 2000, and The Simpsons released an episode about Donald Trump running for president.
Okay.
I'm just saying, and I don't know if you ever heard about this one, and this is just a little aside. We'll get back to the main topic. Bart, like 2 years or so before 9/11 happened in 2001, he had a picture of a comic book that said 9/11, and the one were the Twin Towers.
Okay.
That's just wild and wacky stuff. Go ahead with your what you're saying.
You just totally blew my momentum. I don't. What? What are you talking about?
I was talking about The Simpsons. What are you talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Have you ever noticed that Donald Trump, his hair looks fake no matter how he wears it?
Yeah.
Did he have?
But
You think he had
no,
implants?
but you have to understand. You have to understand. Like, he's old. He's getting really old.
How old is he?
I get that. I mean, Dan, I'm getting old.
How old is he?
I am trying to maintain the same hairstyle that I've had for a long time. Like, I get that. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I mean, do you think he had hair implants?
No, I really don't. I think he's just combing it like left and right, just like, hey.
Hey, how old is he? You said he's old. I didn't know. He looks kind of young.
Are you kidding me? You know what? Look it up right now. I'm pretty sure he's like 62.
62?
I thought he was 62.
That's not old.
That is old. Yes, it is. That's old.
All right, I'm looking it up. You might have to do 1946. So.
Is this our recording? Is this what we're doing?
Apparently, maybe we should change the topic to something.
No. Is this what people are going to hear? When we're talking about Donald Trump?
It'll be preserved on YouTube for generations to come.
Well, that's awesome, because this is what we should be talking about. And how much time do we have left?
We got about 20 minutes.
Okay, well, that's great. So let's talk about Donald Trump. Let's do it.
All right.
Here's my real take on Donald Trump. I didn't like him. I didn't think much of what was going on. I bought into the whole media conception of him, and I was like, what? I am Hispanic. So I was like, oh, he's supposedly offending me. Really? So I looked up what he was talking about, and I looked up the whole border issues, and I looked up a lot of YouTube videos about the border. And let me tell you something. Donald Trump is not off base whatsoever. It's a freaking nightmare down there. Nightmare.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing that really pisses me off. The average American has no idea that Europe has put up razor fences around every single border they can possibly do it. I mean, every single border. That's all he was talking about doing. We don't have a fence like that. Not even half-assed. I mean, it's not even close to what the fences they're putting up look like. Somehow, we are being compared to European standards, but Americans don't understand that we don't have that fence. We don't have it. It's not on our border. Not at all. There are several Indian reservations on the south border that have no fence. Hello? None. What do you think is going on?
Another problem, check this out. I don't know if you heard about this, but Canada has agreed to accept like tons of Syrian refugees. And there's a problem that was in like an article I saw where the CIA said that they were mildly concerned that ISIS had acquired a machine that can make passports. But anyway, what I'm saying is,
it's not debatable. It's not debatable. They came out with, they have fake passports. It's already there.
Yeah, and basically,
and not only that,
there's infiltrators.
But ISIS declared, we will send at least, our goal is to send 4,000 operatives into your country. And what has Obama said? 0. Nothing. Who cares? To him, for some reason, it almost seems like he doesn't care.
Yeah, to me, it's like the old adage that you can't fight a war on two fronts. I mean, if you're sending the Syrians to Canada and you got the border problem with Mexico, what the hell?
I know.
It's like an immigration war on two fronts.
But here's the thing that gets me, is that the American people, and let's not say it's all of them, but let's realize that the reality is, over, I don't know, like I was listening to this radio show, like I said, God, it was like from 16 years ago, and they were talking about, how Bill Clinton was doing this and blah, blah, blah. I'm just sitting there and I'm going, like, you have no idea. You have no idea what's really going to happen in the later stages. But let's face it, they predicted that no Democrat would be elected. Wrong. And it's been such a nightmare ever since. They have no interest on what exactly is going to happen on our borders. So, okay, let's bring it back to Donald Trump. He sounds like nuts for what he's saying. But it's really not that nuts when you think about it, because our country has gone so far from understanding history or what happens in wartime or what's acceptable or what's not acceptable. You know, here we go. Let's go back to the San Bernardino thing. How is it that we were attacked. I mean, Pearl Harbor was an overreaction. Let's face it, right?
Yeah.
We got attacked at Pearl Harbor, and suddenly they took every Japanese person they could finally find a way around. They're like, oh my God, we gotta contain these people. We gotta contain these people. They might attack us.
On a side note, I read somewhere that it was weird. There, we're not gonna. We could maybe talk about this in a future episode, but there's some kind of conspiracy involving Pearl Harbor because apparently the United States had advance warning that the attack was coming. Some say it was almost like a 9/11 scenario. Me personally, on 9/11, I admit that the government did know about it, but I'm pretty sure planes crashed into the towers, and the government allowed it to happen because they would sacrifice the two towers for global military conquest. And what I'm saying in terms of World War II,
well,
basically,
you know what, Dan? I think you might. I think you might have at least some basis on that, and it's sad if that's true. I'll tell you why. Because they said that apparently some of the founding fathers foresaw this, and they said if the global banks solidified their control over America, it's over. Well, we already know that happened. So the question is that what's really happening? I mean, do we have a political system? Is anything that's going on actually in our control? I think it is.
Well, there's some people that say...
And you want to know why?
Why?
You want to know why?
Why?
I'm going to say something crazy.
No, don't say something crazy.
I'm going to say something crazy.
What you going to say that's crazy?
It's crazy. Because everyone in America loves Star Wars.
Not
you know
everyone.
What Star Wars was about?
Man, Star Wars was...
And the new Star Wars is coming out. And everyone's like, ooh, it's going to be so great.
5 days.
They don't understand Star Wars. Star Wars was about everything under control, perfect control of everything, and good overcoming evil. Right?
Yeah, man. I just thought about Star
and
Wars
Han
and got
Solo
goosebumps.
was going to fly out of nowhere, and with the Millennium Falcon, it's all going to work out.
Oh, I saw a clip, Arabella, about the Star Wars movie. Han Solo looks like the old, he's like the old guy that knows everything. No, he's like the old guy that knows all of the, fables and shit that the kids don't believe, I saw this scene where this girl was asking him about the Jedi, and he goes like, oh yes, the Jedi are real. Every movie has a crazy old guy. Han Solo is the new crazy old guy in the movie. But he still has the Millennium Falcon.
Wait, hold on. I thought we were talking about Donald Trump.
We are. I was going to ask you, out of all potential 9 movies of Star Wars, which Star Wars would you place Donald Trump in?
Okay, so we're gonna get back to Donald Trump.
Right. Which character would Donald Trump be in the Star Wars universe? And don't say Darth Vader. That's already been done.
No, he's not Darth Vader. Are you kidding?
I know, but I remember seeing some YouTube video, like a Darth Vader matchup with Donald Trump or some shit.
You know what? You just hit on it. Here we go. Here is our point for our YouTube video. Ready?
Ready when you are.
There is no character in Star Wars for Donald Trump. There isn't. You can't match him. What's up with that? You could match up Hillary easily.
Who would Hillary be?
The evil empire. I mean, it's insane how any American could vote for her, knowing she is like such a liar. Oh my
Well,
God!
it's
Like everything,
mainstream media doesn't report it.
the thuggery that she is engaged in, and they're like, it doesn't matter if it advances our political what? Your political what? I mean, what is Donald Trump going to do? Is he going to reverse social advances? No, he's not. He's not going to reverse all of your things. But he is going to fix some financial things that, quite frankly, I think the rest of America should pay attention to. He's not going to advance the collapse of America. At least financially. You know?
Well, you know how they say when you get in a funk as a human being, sometimes you get so low that you can only go up. I feel the United States is in that position now, where either we're gonna sink forever or we're
Dan,
gonna swim.
like it's so crazy when you listen to it. Okay, let me put it this way. I listened to a documentary by Dinesh D'Souza. He's interesting because he had his own political bend. He attacked the Clintons. He attacked Democrats. You know, I get that. But the thing is, they actually put him in prison for the things that he said and did. But he made some interesting predictions based on that. And
what were some
he
of the
made them.
predictions?
He made them before Obama got elected to his last term. And I went back and I looked at it and I was like, oh my God. Okay, number one, most of America vetoed his documentary. They said, oh, we don't believe this. We don't believe this for 1 second. Because he got like 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. I had to laugh. I was like, really? And, you know, I was expecting to see some kind of like Alex Jones, like extremist, you know, attack on the Democrats. And I was like, not really. Like, he was being really sort of favorable. Like, he was being really understanding. He was like, I'm just trying to understand why Obama does what he does. I thought it was very realistic. And he did this right before Obama's second term election. And he made 3 stunning predictions based on his conclusions of what he thought Obama was, right?
Yeah.
And he said, and think about this, this is in 2012, before we even know what's going to happen. He said, number one, Obama will run the American debt up so high that it's beyond coming back down. Like, that will happen. He said, it will happen.
Yeah, it's at 19
and then
trillion.
And then he said, negotiations will happen with Iran, and when they do, Obama will do nothing at all to keep them from getting a nuclear weapon. He wants to arm them, which was shocking. Shocking. Because you would think, as an American president, and any other American president would say, this is a threat to our nation. No. He said this would happen, and it did. It did happen.
And this is a book that Trump wrote?
No, actually, this is not what Trump wrote. This is a totally different scenario. But what I'm saying is Trump is reacting to this. He knows this. See, the reason... Okay, let's get back to Trump.
Yeah.
The
He got
reason that
5.
Trump sounds outrageous to people is that he knows all this. He is someone who predicted Osama bin Laden. He predicted the World Trade Center getting hit, and no one listens to him. He's been sitting there for a while, just going, like, are you kidding me? Like, nobody else sees what's happening here? And he jumped into politics, and he's not politically correct. He's not even graceful. Let's face it. He's kind of a nightmare. He's kind of a nightmare when it comes to politics. But he is right. He's right. And that's the difference. I mean, that is a thing that people should really think about. The things that he says are not that off base. I would say I'm different. Let me put it this way. When San Bernardino happened, if I was the president of the United States, I would immediately close the borders. Immediately. I wouldn't say I'm closing the borders to Muslims, but I would say, that's it. The borders are closed. No one is coming into America. Period. Until we figure out what's going on here. Because we're at war. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you filter it through Trump, he knows that's not going to happen. He knows that's not going to happen. So he said, I think that Muslims should be under scrutiny, and I think we should stop Muslim immigration. I mean, that's what he was really saying.
Well,
Not just immigration. What you have to understand is, in Trump's mind, he thought that Muslim immigration means integration. He's saying that the entire political state of mind of Muslims is not compatible with America. He took a stand on that, and that's what he said, and it's not politically correct. There's no way. But that's what he meant.
yeah, I heard about that. It's like a.
And I'm not saying I'm not actually saying I agree with that. I'm not. But that's what he meant. That's why he didn't say close the borders, right? The French president said close the borders, right?
Yeah.
Trump said close the borders to Muslims, because what he was really saying is, I'm identifying that this is the threat. And that's what he meant. But you have to understand that it's kind of weird, but he is the opposite of Obama. Like, the only reason that anyone is listening to anything he says is he says the exact opposite of what Obama says. You ever thought about that?
Yeah.
Every time Obama
there,
says
Bella.
nothing,
Hold
Trump
on
says
there,
something
Bella.
else.
We got 60 seconds on the episode. I'll let you have the last word.
No, I'm not really sure we got to the bottom of Trump.
We might have to make this a continued episode.
Yeah, we might have to have a second one.
Second one. This is the third
But
one.
there's definitely more to the Trump phenomenon than what we talked about. Well, you want to do one more?
Yeah. But we're still recording the second one, so.
Huh?
We're still recording the second one. You got 28 seconds. I
Wait
want
a
you to
second.
close it.
Let's pass.
No, just say something to the audience. Talk to the viewer. I'll give you an additional 90 seconds to say something to our audience.
I really can't, Dan. I really can't.
Well, that's how you
Trump
build
means different things to different people.
I'm just talking about as a co-host for Faultline to the potential YouTube viewers. Just say hi
Okay,
to.
we'll get into it on the next episode.
All right. And that is the second episode of Faultline, coming soon to a YouTube near you. Be sure to like our video, subscribe it, and share it if you like it.